All right. So our learning target today is that we are going to make a pastry using the preserved food or fruit that we made last week. And we will have a Pop Tart. I have written on the board that the topic is food preservation. The glaze you will make tomorrow, obviously. The glaze goes on after it comes out of the oven. If you can roll it out once and cut everything out from that one time rather than having to bunch it back together, roll it out again, the more you touch it, the tougher the dough gets. The other thing about pastry dough is you want the butter to be really cold. Jam has a lot of sugar in it. As you know, you made jam last week. It was a lot of sugar. Guess what happens to sugar when you put it in the oven? Quickly, it burns. Anybody tell me how much water? 3/4 cup. And it is ice water? It's ice water. Okay, do the ice, put the ice in your cup first, and then fill your water up so that it is 3/4 of a cup. This is the tool you want to use. You do not want to use a whisk. How much butter is a cup of butter? All right, a lot of times you think, oh, 1 stick, 1 cup. It's 2 sticks. So you are taking 2 whole sticks of butter and you are trying to cut it into your flour. Pastry blender is specifically made to cut butter into flour, like this. You want small cubes to start out with. So I usually cut it down the center like this, and then I go across like this. And you're gonna use a pastry blender to put it together. This is starting to look okay, but it still has a lot of chunks in it. It says at the bottom that I'm going to slowly add the water and stir until a rough ball forms. Once I add the liquid, that's when you start having the issue of overworking it. You really kind of want it to look even all the way around. And my arm's starting to hurt. I need more water still. So now I've used all the 3/4 of a cup. If I can form a ball, then it's good. So that's pretty good. All right. Okay, let me get the butter out and y'all can get started on this. Okay guys, I'm going to talk about this Pop Tart lab. The biggest mistake that I have seen today is that the Pop Tart dough is too thick to begin with, okay? Think about this. You have a bottom and you have a top. If both are thick and you put them together, oh my goodness. Okay, so I have put flour on the surface and also on my rolling pin, and I've also put flour on top of the dough. I am trying to put all of my weight on top of this, but you want to try to get it as even as you can, where you just cut rectangles out and then you decide, okay, well that's gonna be how big that one is. You see how thin that is? If you say, well, you know what, I want it to be thinner at this point, you could then just roll that one piece out. Look how much thinner and how much easier it is to roll it out once it's cut away from all the dough. All right, I want you to see how much jam I'm putting in here. And I don't want too much because when it heats up, you know what happens? It does. It expands. It starts leaking out everywhere. Now I'm gonna cover it with the other piece to seal the dough all the way around. Do not make your glaze until your dough is in the oven. You will need to make your egg wash. So you can grab your eggs. Look at that final product. We had such a great turnout of these beautiful Pop Tarts. The kids really liked them. And I think that the jam was successful and the Pop Tarts were successful. And we'll be making thumbprint cookies coming up next.